Hey there, today I'm going to be doing my 2026 wish list several months late, but it took me a little bit of time to really think about what I want to add to my collection. And it just really took a while, just kind of thinking about the past wish lists and what I do want, and we're going to talk about it. So if you're intrigued, stick around after the break and we'll talk about it. Hey there, welcome to my channel. My channel is about treating yourself to a little bit of luxury, whether that be your cup of coffee, your favorite fragrances, skincare, handbags, jewelry, all sorts of fine, luxurious stuff, because you deserve to treat yourself. You deserve it. You work hard. I know I work hard, so that's the excuse I give myself for making these wish lists. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And as I mentioned earlier, it took me a while to come up with this year's wish list. I didn't, and every year I do this. I create a wish list and I barely knock off items out of it. And I always wonder why I make these. Is it truly to check off everything off of it, or is it just to kind of focus my energy into acquiring certain items and not just spend money willy-nilly? And I think it's a mixture of both. I still do kind of impulse buy, but for the most part, like I'll spend my energy trying to find like the goal item. But I know what's happened in the past is like I always have a Birkin on there or a Kelly. I always have like that dream bag on there. And I haven't really been making much progress towards it. And I kind of figured out that, and I mentioned this last year, was that bag is something that I know will sit on my shelf. And a lot of my bags do already. But that particular bag will sit on my shelf. And I'm a little hesitant to just drop that much money for a showpiece or something that's just going to sit in the dust bag and not get the attention it deserves. So I almost want to reserve that bag for when I finally decide to strip down my collection and not have as many bags, and then I can just kind of live in a bag for a while. And right now that's just not where I am. So I think for the foreseeable future, I'm going to focus on enjoying different bags. So let's talk about what's on the wish list. I have some jewelry on here. I've got just random things on here, but let's talk about a couple of things, starting with jewelry. So I added from my wish list last year these Cartier Trinity earrings. They were on the list, so I checked them off. And the other thing that was on the list with these earrings was the necklace that matches them. And I was going to pick up one or the other. And I have the necklace still on the list. So that's the Trinity necklace in the mini model. And I think last year I was trying to decide between the mini and the small. And while I like the small because it will dangle more, when I saw it, the chain on the small is a lot more delicate. And I like the way that the mini, it's a choker, but it also seems to have a more substantial chain, and the way it attaches to the Trinity pendant just seems to be more sturdy. And I think I could wear that maybe like a 24/7 piece, like when I wouldn't have to take off. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I have a feeling that might be, and that would be really appealing to not change out. I often wear like these up here. I don't change them out very often. I'm considering moving these Trinities up to my second hole here and then having another pair for down here and kind of like living in the earrings. So yeah, I'm thinking that the mini model would be something that could be a nice everyday piece. And then the other thing on the list is the Trinity ring. And I want to get it in the small model, not the original. I tend to like thinner bands. So like my wedding set, I have the Eternity band that's just a thin diamond set. It's kind of like this cocktail ring that I have over here. So like these thin bands, I like to wear a lot of thin bands and stack them rather than having a really thick ring. So I'm thinking the small Trinity would be the better way to go. So next, and something that's new, I don't believe I had these items on my list at all last year, but this brand has been kind of on my radar for a while now, and I was able to actually see some of the bags last year when I went to Chicago at Bvlgari, and I've been intrigued by this brand for quite some time, and I'm really honing in on two particular styles. One is the shoulder version of the Serpenti Forever, and then the other one is the kind of top handle one. And the one that really has caught my eye is the Galusha, and it's just the prettiest combination. I've seen several of them on the Preloved market out there, and just the color combos that are out there. There's a beautiful pink one, there was a green, a purple, the purple, if I can find a purple one, oh, yeah, that's like to die for. But really any of them are just really beautiful, so trying to get one of those would be fantastic. So the Galusha is the one that's really high up on my list, but I found a couple of the Serpenti shoulder ones that are this lovely like plum color, and I don't know, just it was really pretty, so I just thought those were really nice. And the snake head looked really nice. The other thing that I'd like to look into is the bracelet, and I'm trying to remember if they have a Galusha one that's green, and they used to have it in black, but I'm not seeing it on the website anymore. But it seems like they only have a size medium, which is like a 6-inch, and I have very large wrists, so I do not think that will fit me. So I'd really like to go in and try that on and see. So we'll have to go to a boutique and see if that's an option. And of course, if they don't make it anymore, then I'm not sure I'd want the green. I'd want a black, or some other relatively neutral color that can go with a lot of different outfits. So but I don't know why I'm drawn to the snake head that they have in there, because I don't really like snakes. It just really, I don't know, it really intrigues me. I think it's a really beautiful design. So just have really been drawn to that lately. So the next kind of category that I'm going to go to is like the pre-loved and vintage things. And I think that's where I'm going to focus my energy this year, is looking at vintage pre-loved items. Might not call all of them vintage because they're not exactly, over 20 years old. But last year I had a Damier Azur Neverfull on there, GM, and I'm still looking for one. I want it in a pretty specific condition. I'd want rose ballerina interior, practically brand new. I do not want to spend brand new prices though. I'm not going to spend, because I paid just under 15 for my Neverfull in 2019, and that's like the floor, I should say, that's the max that I would pay for a full set in pristine condition. And I know that's like, wishful thinking given the market right now, but it's the principle. I can hold out, I can wait. I have no hurry for this item. I can hold out. I just want it because I'd like to have an alternative to my work Neverfull, to have a summer bag for work. So it's just a want to have, don't have to have. So want to have. Kind of similar to that is a couple more Speedies. larger ones like 35s, 35s. And ideally, I'd like them to be either empreinte leather or like the World Tour, the Makassar, the black treated leather, rather than having the Vachetta, because here with Oregon, the Vachetta just gets wrecked immediately. So again, holding out, do not need, it's a want, but I'd like to add a couple more to just have. But I have, a Damier Azur one in a 25. I have a 30 in the mini Lind fabric. So it's not like I need more Speedies, but I just want them. So what I do, these next three, I should say the next two are the ones that I think are probably higher on the list of, if I see them, I'm going to pick them up. The first one's a Mazarine, and this is the one, I've mentioned this several times, whenever I pull out my Sienna GM. It's the same exact purse, and it's continued, but it's the exact same design, but this was made in empreinte leather only. And I believe they only had the PM and the MM for the Mazarine. But the pleats and just the general design, that's what I love about the Sienna. So when I saw the Mazarine, I'm like, this is the bag I really, really want. It comes in, I think it's like Gallet, black, I think there was a plum or maroon color. So your typical like neutral type of colors. So just finding one in decent condition that has all of its parts, because sometimes the straps go missing. There might have been a navy as well, but so one of those in decent condition is what I'm looking for. And then I'm thinking of adding a white multicolor piece. Again, don't have to have. I have the Claudia in black multicolor, but it'd be nice to add just something in white. I only have the sunglasses from that collection, so I don't necessarily need, I'd rather have vintage than have something from the new collection, but I'd rather have a handbag, and vintage is really the way to go. So a white Murakami piece. And then last, this is the one where I really want to have one, but when I think about it, every time I go to pick one up, and they're at great prices, because the resale value on these is just, it's amazing how low they go. It's a lot like what I'm going to talk about, the Fendi Peekaboo. So a Capucines, and I want an MM, and you'll find these for $2,000 all the time, and in lots of different colors, and usually the condition is pretty decent on them, so between $2,000 and $3,000. But I have a Fendi Peekaboo. They're very similar in shape and style. Do I need it? Probably not, but I like it, and I like the design. I don't mind the leather. I know some folks don't care for, is it Torillon leather? I think it's fine, but knowing I have the Peekaboo, would I use it? Would I use this less because would I get a Capucine? So that's kind of why I keep about it. So I want it, but do I need it? Probably not. I did leave an Hermes items on here, and that's kind of like the pivot. I have been watching Jessie Styles, and she's been picking up a lot of, unique pieces, vintage items, going to Japan. And she picked up a recent, I think it was a bolide in the vibrato leather. And the vibrato leather is just really unique and pretty. And I think she showed a Kelly that was vibrato as well, and that one just really intrigued me. And I know they're not cheap, so it's going to be nearly impossible to find something, but I'm kind of just thinking just about anything in a vibrato. And I know they've had the bolide, they've had like the Vespa, they might have even had the Evelyn at some point. I don't think so. I think it was the Vespa. But something in that seems intriguing. So if something comes up that's at a decent price, I'd be intrigued to add something, but I'm not going to be actively searching out for anything from Hermes this year, and probably not for the foreseeable future. Just for right now, it's just not something that I need in my life. So oddly enough, hearing that from a YouTuber, right? And then the last couple things are just holdovers from last year. So I still want to pick up that Tiffany cup. I think the colorway that I like is either has or is being discontinued, which was the Morganite. But I know you can still find it in certain locations. So I probably will pick that up really soon. And then this last item is the Chanel Coco Crush beige gold ring. I still really want this. I won't buy this brand new from the boutique though. I'm looking for a pre-loved version, probably from Fashion File or the Real Real. It seems to come up on the Real Real more often, but the quality or the condition is usually not as good as you can find on Fashion File. I don't think that the price has gone up as much as some other items from this brand, but I still think that given that you can see them fairly regularly on both those sites at a decent savings, I think I'd rather just get it off of those websites. I can't see the benefit of buying it directly from the boutique. I wouldn't be completely opposed to it. They finally opened a beauty here in Oregon. If they finally get a place where I could see or purchase the ring here, I could see myself possibly buying it full price. But right now, the only place to pick it up anywhere near me is, I believe, Las Vegas. And of course, there's tax there. So I don't know if I could order and have it shipped to me and get out of paying the tax. Some of the boutiques have been very just difficult when it comes to shipping home and avoiding it. It used to be my trick basically to go and avoid paying the sales tax was to have it shipped home, and Goyard was one of the worst offenders when I bought from them. They didn't want to ship home. Hermes was still kind and did it. Cartier did it as well, and they'll do a phone order. So I was really surprised at how unreasonable Goyard was. But anyway, side note. That is it. So again, majority of the items are going to be pre-loved vintage type of items. I don't see myself really buying anything full price in store other than like novelty items. The Tiffany cup, the possibly the Bvlgari bracelet if they still have it and I can try it on and make sure it fits. But yeah, the only things I'll be buying full price probably are from Cartier. Yeah, that's in the Tiffany cup. You know, everything else will be trying to locate it online and at a discount because, you know, the times we're in right now, try to save money where we can, right? Even though it's luxury items, why, if you can find it cheaper, why not? That's the goal. So I'm very late to the wish list party, but is there anything that you are searching for this year? Have you given up on your luxury wish list? Is it just not in the cards, or is it something you're not valuing this year, which, you know, many people have just shied away from these brands and these items, and that's totally understandable. I still like them though, so I'm gonna find a way to fit in a few things here and there. And I've always been, you know, more of a pre-love, secondhand type of person anyway, so that's not going to be too much of a shift. But I still partake of some brand new and full price things when I can. So that's what I have for you this week. I would love to hear from you down below. What I have to do: like, comment, subscribe, hype, all the things. I know they force you to do all those things. I really appreciate you stopping by, and I will talk to you on the next one. Take care. Bye.